issues. So let me be clear, not religious circles, but yes, fundamentalists like Christians, evangelical Christians, that kind of level. Yes, I do think that would also perpetuate harm, or would also lead to society stop or not functioning nearly as well or whatnot.
Well, society functions fine under Sharia law.
So I'm talking about fundamental Christianity. I'm not here to.
Let's talk about fundamental Christianity then. I have no problem with that, Hunter Avalon. Andrew Wilson's going to give this young man a lesson as an adult, almost like a father figure to a child. Hunter Avalon's very smart. This guy has been in the React space, the content creator space for quite some time, but he's changed his stance on a lot of things, including the rainbow. Let's get back to the clip. Andrew Wilson of The Crucible versus Hunter Avalon. This is a nice little debate here, clash of cultures. And I'm going to fact check this dude on Christianity, maybe an opinion check. Let's go.
Defend Islam. I'm not a big fan of. I don't like religion in general, so I'm happy to shit on Islam. I'm happy to shit on Christianity. Like, but
well, what's your problem with fundamental Christians?
Well, hold on. I don't want again, it's because of the rates of discrimination and the harm that they perpetuate. So like, even if you look at the rates, actually American Muslims are more accepting of gay people, for example, than evangelical white Christians. And that does harm. That hurts people. That discriminates against not only gay people, but again, we've already established that by preventing them from adopting, you're also harming children. You're literally harming the children that are in orphanages right now suffering.
Yeah, this cringe take, it's harm. What harm are we talking about here? Let's make sure we distinguish Hunter Avalon from physical harm or we just disagree harm. Yeah, the fundamental Christianity is so bad. Hospitals, charities, that's the real problem here, Hunter Avalon. Yeah, it's okay. Christians, fundamental Christians disagree with the rainbow lifestyle. You'll be okay. Everybody will be okay. Everybody's on peace. It's not violence. Absolutely, I can discriminate against whatever I want. That's called a choice. That's called a preference, young man. Let's get back to the clip. Andrew Wilson, let's go. Let's hear what he has to say.
You're creating arguments against something I'm not talking about.
I'm not. I'm explaining how white evangelicals are making
very
more
closely
harm
to what I'm saying. What's the problem with fundamental Christianity in your worldview? That they cause harm to homosexuals because they're not accepting?
That they cause harm to, yes, in general, to society. Yes, they cause harm in various different ways. So one, yes, they discriminate against gay people at higher rates. I don't like that. That does harm.
Much higher rates. Much higher rates.
And it's discriminatory. And so I'm against that. I don't like that because, again, it perpetuates harm and it hurts kids in orphanages, et cetera, et cetera. We've kind of already established this. Also, white evangelical Christians are more likely to deny things like climate change, something that I think is very important that we kind of all need to find unity on. It's really important for like the future moving forward here. White evangelical Christians are against that. That's another thing.
To this guy?
Another reason. There are statistics showing that oftentimes hyper-religious individuals are more likely to put their faith over scientific evidence. Anti-intellectualism has already cost us with COVID, with how we've seen the like conspiratorial bullshit, the anti-vaxxers and whatnot. So yes, there is a multitude of harm that white evangelicals perpetuate on this country, or could hypothetically. So I think that your argument would be completely doomed. It would have to.
So now answer me this.
So before Andrew Wilson goes, we're going to hear his response there. But what is Christianity about? It's about these evil concepts. Like, I don't know, love. What is his view on what Christianity is? It's so harmful that it teaches people love, commitment, and purpose. Truly stuff of a villain. Truly villainous stuff. It's only the stuff that founded this country that you are being able to make money off of, live on, talk about the climate as if it's something I need to be worried about, as if it's something that humans can affect, as if it's something that humans can destroy. Your hands are too short to box with God. I want to take care of the country. I'm not going to treat it like a trash can, but let's not be silly here. Let's get to see what Andrew has to say to this. He's not even a clown, man. I just don't know where he's at right now.
Now that we've established this,
Mm-hmm.
is the happiness level in people who are Christians higher or lower than the average population in the United States?
So I'm going to answer
No,
this.
no, just yes or no. Is it higher?
No,
or
I'm
lower?
not. I'm not going to answer it unless I can elaborate, because the
Okay.
answer it needs an elaboration there.
Mhm.
So, yes, absolutely. Yep, you're right. People in religious circles do have happier or higher
So
rates
doesn't
of
it do them
happiness.
harm if you were to
So-
take that away from them?
Sure. Yes. So here's
So
the
now
thing.
we're
is-
talking
hold
about
on.
which.
Wait.
which is more
Hold
harm.
on. Wait. Because it's not the religious aspect of it, but rather the community aspect of it. So if you were to gauge like a group of people that say every like Saturday they went to some like big community event with like community picnic and then went bowling or whatnot, you would find higher rates of happiness in those people as well. Having a structured community is what gives you that higher level of happiness. And again, I'm not shitting on all of religion. My parents are very religious. I respect them for that, and that's because I recognize that for them it is a form of community, and that's important for
What
people.
I'm trying to get to the heart of here is that it seems like your issues are secondary to the religion. You're saying this is how religious people behave in this political sense that I disagree with.
Mhm.
I'm asking, what are your fundamental problems with the religion itself?
Oh, you want to talk about like Christianity?
Well, if you have a problem with Christianity, yeah.
I mean, I'm not really. To be fair, I'm not. I don't think I'm too interested. I don't think I can get too into a.
I see. we ask what you know about the topic that you're bloviating about, not just bloviating about, that you're literally demonizing people who believe. Not only that, you're telling them that their happiness, and I'll take that as my takeaway, the happiness part, because I actually disagree with Andrew Wilson. Stay till the end. I will try to remember my takeaway is going to be about the happiness. But Andrew Wilson asked him, well, okay, let's talk about Christianity. You know, the thing that you've been bloviating about this whole time.
Because the
Okay.
answer it needs an elaboration there. So as well, having a structured community is what gives you that higher level of happiness.
So he's telling you as a Christian why you're happy. Hunter Avalon, of all people, is telling you why you're happy. It's not because of your faith in God or Jesus Christ or the actual beliefs, the teachings of the Bible or whatever religion you're in, but we're talking about Christianity here. It's not that. That's what he's saying. It's not that. It's the community aspect. I think that's valuable. Don't get me wrong, but I can't speak for each person on what that is, but Hunter Avalon can. So I think it's fair for Andrew Wilson to ask, well, what is your problem with Christianity itself?
And again, I'm not shitting on all of religion. My parents are very religious. I respect them for that, and that's because I recognize that for them it is a form of community, and that's important for
what
people.
I'm trying to get to the heart of here is that it seems like your issues are secondary to the religion. You're saying this is how religious people behave in this political sense that I disagree with.
Mhm.
I'm asking, what are your fundamental problems with the religion itself?
Oh, you want to talk about like Christianity?
Well, if you have a problem with Christianity, yeah.
I mean, I'm not really. To be fair, I'm not. I don't think I'm too interested. I don't think I can get too into a deep
right, bro?
theological talk.
Religion itself.
Oh, you want to talk about like Christianity?
Well, if you have a problem with Christianity,
Yeah, I do want to talk about what you have a problem with. Fundamentalist, Christian fundamentalist. That's what you said.
yeah.
I mean, I'm not really.
You okay, bro?
To be fair, I'm not. I don't think I'm too interested. I don't think I can get too into a deep theological talk.
Well, I'm not really trying to get into a deep theological talk. What I'm
No.
trying to discuss here is
No,
motivation.
I'll dial it back here. Get personal for a second. I have admitted this multiple times on stream. I have a little bit of like resentment with how religion was taught to me personally. So I don't I try to steer clear of like the deep theological debates about Christianity. My general summary, if you don't,
except when it's to dominate the conversation to ostracize Christians in general. Other than that, you stay away from the conversation. You have a little childhood problem, probably daddy issues or something. Yeah. Go on a couch, get some help, and stay out of this conversation.
Mine really quick, and I'll hand it over
Sure.
to you, is just that, yes, people who have a sense of community, whether that be a secular sense of community or a religious circle and sense of community, is absolutely beneficial and has been proven to be such. I'm not advocating to take any of that away. I'm fine with people going to church. I'm fine with people being religious. I was raised as a Christian. I think there are some good like parts of the Bible. There are some good things you can take away from religion. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not anti-religion here. My argument
What is your
ultimately was
take?
that white evangelical, the fundamentalist Christians, those are more of the people that I'm concerned about on a statistical level.
What does that even mean? This is how these people think. And this is one of the more articulate of these types of people.
There are some good like parts of the Bible. There are some good
There's some good parts of the Bible. I'll agree.
things you can take away from religion. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not anti-religion here. My argument ultimately,
You're not anti-religion. You're anti the people who believe in religion. And do I have that? Do I have your take accurately?
was that white evangelical, the fundamentalist Christians, those are more of the people that I'm concerned about on a statistical level. And it doesn't mean they can't be reached, but it just means that they would be more likely to perpetuate harm. And again, there's nothing harmful with being gay at
But what
all.
about the harm perpetuated against them for telling them that their beliefs are incorrect, even though their happiness level is higher?
Well, what do you mean? Their beliefs.
So what I'm asking is, why is it that we should sacrifice the happiness of 200 million people in order to accommodate this small handful of people?
So what Andrew Wilson is doing here is trying to speak to Hunter Avalon as if he is just a rabid, on this topic at least, a rabid leftist, if we're going to break it down between left and right, or a rabid corporatist in a way, believing in the LGB and all that, the rainbow. Andrew Wilson is speaking in a language Andrew Wilson would never use this debate against somebody on the right, this style. He's using the way Hunter Avalon thinks against him. So if you're going to apply this idea of goodness, we can't take away like the sin. If somebody has beliefs that your lifestyle is sin, Hunter Avalon saying, but I'm happy. So that's basically saying, if it makes me happy to eat 5 tubs of ice cream every night, then I don't need a doctor. I don't need anything. I'm fine because those are my feelings. That's how Christians view this sinful lifestyle. You're living in sin. You're eating 5 tubs of ice cream every day. And that's not a lifestyle that I want to subscribe to. Hunter's saying, you can't believe that because I have to be happy. Let's hear how Hunter Avalon tries to weasel out of this predicament that the great debater Andrew Wilson has put him in of the crucible.
Well, I'm not trying to get rid of anything, though. This is the thing. No one.
Well, you don't think that homosexual marriage, for instance, is a complete slap in the face towards Christians?
Well,
their fundamental belief structure
so
says
then this is where we would have to
between one man and one woman.
So this is where we'd have to
say your happiness level for your religion needs to be completely eradicated.
No.
These people here.
Hold on. This is pushing me into trying to push me into a bad optical corner here, but no, not at all.
I'm not trying to.
I know, but it's not. Hold on. We're not. I'm sorry. I'm trying. I got super distracted at the chat at the last second there. Could you repeat what you said again? I apologize.
Yeah.
I know.
So what I'm saying is,
hold on. I'd just like to also point out I'm having a bit of a slow night tonight. So
yeah,
you know.
It's okay.
Yeah, I know.
So I'm just pointing out from the
yeah, we kind of saw
from the Christian side, they think to themselves, look, marriage is a religious institution to them. It's not a political institution.
Right. So
they don't think of it that way.
So this is
they think of it as a religious institution, and they think that the institution, if you allow homosexuals to become marriage, is destroying the institution of their very
But it's
faith
not-
and grounding that they walk on.
But it's not the government's job to uphold any one religion. This has already been established by the Constitution. And it's a known fact that, like, we have separation of church and state in many ways.
Well,
So
then why is it that the government issues marriage licenses at all? Why don't they just stay out of it?
I would agree with you.
Yep.
That's what, honestly,
I
I would
agree.
fucking love that.
We agree.
Yes. Ultimately, that
So
would.
if that's the case, then why would you be angry about something that's not called marriage but gives you all the rights to marriage?
Well, I didn't know if did I ever say I was angry about that? I didn't.
Well, right. So one of the things
I think I
that,
talked about the tax incentives. I'm not sure what that.
well, so one of the things that homosexual advocates did, there was something that was there in place
He called him
for these
homosexual
people,
advocate.
for homosexuals, that was designed specifically.
Oh yeah, the
and it was
civil
called a
union
civil
thing.
union.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I agree
civil
with that.
unions weren't good enough. It had to be marriage.
I don't want the government involved, but yes, if the government's involved, that's the way I would prefer it. Marriage is man and a woman, civil union, something else. What's wrong with that?
Why
Well,
is
I don't know all the ins and outs, but I don't think I need to get into that. Like,
What do
no
you
one's
mean?
trying to take away anyone's happiness level, and we could just as easily flip this on its head and say that white evangelicals restricting people from getting married and living their lives freely, pursuing their right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that would restrict their happiness. What about gay people not being able to get married? What about two
That's-
people that love each
right.
other and can't get
This is
married?
the fundamental question that we're coming to. This is why I'm bringing this up is, do we sacrifice the happiness of the 200 million people who believe in this institution as a religious institution for the people who believe that it's a secular institution?
Oh yeah, 100%. Because we just as easily, again, I'm going to defer you back to slavery. We sacrificed the happiness of a whole lot of Southerners when all of a sudden we made slavery illegal. But it doesn't mean that it wasn't the right thing to do,
No, it was not the right thing to do. Believe it or not, I've talked about that before. The people don't analyze these things with a lens of logic. The South wanted to secede, and they should be able to secede. If states want to leave the Union, they should be able to leave the Union. The South wanted to leave. The South did not say, I want to take over the North. They said, we just want to leave. And the North impeded on their rights as states to leave.
Dude. So absolutely, yes. In some instances, you have to sacrifice the quote unquote happiness. But again, that would be flipping it on them. Why are they unhappy with the fact that gay people are getting married? They don't have a
No, they don't have to be happy with that. They don't have to be happy with that, Hunter.
right. I'm sorry. Their religion does not have a right to dictate how the government is run. There needs to.
Yes, it does. I mean, absolutely, it does. Whoever has the political power gets the trophy. It's that simple, Hunter. And I'm going to do my takeaway on the happiness with Andrew Wilson. I disagree with his take on the happiness. My thought on that is, my faith is not to necessarily make me happy. It's not how I don't even look at it that way. It's to bring me closer to God. It's to find purpose. It is it's a fog light in the midst of this world we're in. We're in a postmodern society. We don't know what's true. You don't know if I'm fake right now. You don't know if I'm a robot. You don't know if this is written by AI. You don't know if this is a whole fake type of thing where I'm not a real person. You have no idea. There's no way of you knowing that. And we're in a postmodern society where we're walking around the world blindfolded, pretty much. And that's the analogy I would like to end with with Andrew Wilson. I'm going to get back to Hunter Alvalone in a second, but it's not about happiness. So I really don't want to hear about happiness. It's to provide purpose, direction, and yeah, that can correlate to happiness. Absolutely, I don't have a problem with that at all. So what Hunter Avalone's arguing for is basically traditions are bad, government is good, feelings are infallible, of course. What a great plan for a society. I'm sure nothing would go wrong. And that's how we get to the society we're at now today. But culture is changing right now. It's getting better. But happiness or not, I'd rather be upset at the world when there's truth than to be fake and phony and amuse it with convenient lies.
The next clip is ready below. Welcome to After Show Carnage.